Welcome back, and today we're going to be talking about the origins of port. Even though port's history is long-running and there are many houses that have been around for hundreds of years, there is still much to be studied. Records show that wine has been produced in the Douro for more than 2,000 years. Legend has it that the monks at a monastery in Lamego, a small city in the Douro, were adding grape spirit to the wine to fortify it. Wines actually designated as port, however, only appeared during the second half of the 17th century. At this time, port trade was being developed out of the friendship and alliance between two countries, Portugal and England, and later Britain. This trade of port helped to further strengthen what is the oldest alliance between two nations, dating back to the Treaty of Windsor in 1386. Naturally, port became very popular with British merchants, especially when they were at war with France and couldn't source French wines. Port was perceived as being a smooth alternative to French wine and gained a healthy reputation, as well as its name, Vinho do Porto, port wine, as it was being shipped from the city of Porto to markets all over the world. This relationship was further strengthened in 1703 when the Methuen Treaty or Port Wine Treaty was signed. This commercial agreement stipulated that Portuguese wines were to pay 1/3 less of the tax charged on French wines, and also British textiles would have preferential conditions trading in Portugal. In 1756, the Prime Minister of the King, Sebastião José de Carvalho e Melo, founded the Companhia Geral da Agricultura das Vinhas do Alto Douro, a royal institution. Its mission was to regulate and stimulate port production, as well as maintain prices and defend port's reputation. This included the first legal demarcation of the region, making port the oldest AOC, Appellation d'Origine Contrôlée, in the world. Fast forward to the second half of the 19th century, and a terrible vine disease that had been devastating Europe arrived in the Douro. It was phylloxera, a mite which feeds off the roots of vines, eventually rotting them, terrorized the Douro. The spread of phylloxera caused hardship and widespread abandonment of vineyards, leading to the appearance of the so-called mortórios, abandoned vineyards you can still see today. Eventually, a solution was found, the American rootstock. Grafting the indigenous grape varieties onto the American rootstock meant that viticulture in the Douro was still possible. To this day, all the vines have to be grafted with the American rootstock to prevent them from rotting. Phylloxera also forced wine growers to rethink the geography of their vineyards. Many of them started to increase the space between rows, and that is one of the most typical Douro aspects, as you can see behind me. In 1930, a new vineyard quality classification system was introduced to further guarantee the authenticity of port. Gradings range from A to F in close relation to each producer's authorized port production. This is the so-called benefício, and it's one of the most famous rules of this highly regulated wine region. Today, these outstanding wines and their incredible history are among some of the best and most revered wines in the world, being sold in over more than 100 countries. For more information on these incredible wines, please follow us at the School of Port, brought to you by the Port Med people at Symington Family Estates.